Good morning. Welcome to another move session with me. For my Canadian friends, I hope you had a great weekend, long weekend. I kept forgetting it was a long weekend, to be honest. Our life follows a different rhythm than the rest of the world because of my husband's shifts. So he works very odd hours, so long weekends don't really have as much impact on our life. He was off, so it's just another weekend. Hey Corinne, good morning. Welcome. It's beautiful out. It's a bit noisy. Someone's doing something over here. I don't know what, but all right, let's get started. I'm feeling pumped. I think it's partly the Olympics. Is anyone else following the Olympics, like binging on the Olympics? My camera right here. Sorry, guys. Just watched the 200 meter semifinals for the men. Andre Jagas looked amazing this morning. I was worried last night when I watched the quarterfinals. He looked really tired to me. And the women's 200, and I'm sad that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price didn't win a medal. But anyhow, I'm gonna have a Olympics hangover next week when it's over, because I love having it on while I'm just doing stuff. So welcome to another move session with me. If you are new, if this is your first time, remember to take it easy. We're starting nice and slow and easy with our first round of warm-up. We do 3 rounds in the warm-up, and each one gets increasingly higher in effort or intensity. Having said that, I want you to know there's always the option of staying at this intensity. The first goal when you join me or when you join us is to show up. Okay, so modify anything that you need to. The other thing I'm going to say is I grabbed some heavier weights this morning for myself. If you've been joining me for a while now, I encourage you to push yourself a little bit, increase the intensity a bit. But if you're brand new, I encourage you to do the workout with no weights to start, right? Get your body moving again. Get your mind open, right? Because your mind is your biggest enemy, not just in the beginning. Your mind is always going to be your biggest enemy. So what I've learned over the past year is to work with my mind, not against it, and also to manage my mind, because our minds like to tell us stuff that's just simply not true a lot of the time, right? So, oh, my legs are heavy and tired today. So again, modify anything you need to. Those of you who've been joining me for a while now, same goes for you. Modify anything you need to anytime. The goal is 1% better a day, which means you just need to show up, right? If you can just show up day after day after day consistently, you're gonna progress. You're gonna see the results. You don't need to do everything in the first workout or the 6th workout or the 60th workout. You just need to keep showing up. I want to share with you all today a breakthrough that I've had recently that I've been waiting for 7 years. You guys, 7 years. And I share that with you to say that if you can discipline yourself to just show up, to not give up and to not quit, and to also embrace, and I was not always good at any of these things, but the biggest part, I think, is to embrace that most of the time you're not going to feel like it. Most of the time you're not going to want to. You can discipline yourself to just do something and not quit, right? Do something and keep showing up. That's what's going to keep you going. And over the last week, I sort of had this new perspective on habits and how impactful the smallest habits that you think are irrelevant truly are. When I started running, okay, we're gonna increase intensity for those of you who are ready. If you're not ready, keep it at the marches, keep it at low impact. When I started running 1 mile a day, I was kind of coming off of running about 100 kilometers a week average. So that's about 62 miles. And I couldn't get myself to go out and do what what my training plan said, what my mind said I needed to be doing. I was battling my mind big time. And something in me said, just go out for a mile a day. Just do something instead of doing nothing. Otherwise you're gonna fall down a really slippery slope. And who knows how far you're gonna fall. So just do 1 mile a day. And so my son Dixon said, I'm gonna do it with you. And then he said, let's do it for a month. And I said, okay. It was December 8th. No, he said, let's do it till Christmas. He said, let's do it till the new year. Typically in January, he had done a run challenge where he ran every day. So he said, let's add on January. I do a run challenge February. Anyway, you see where I'm going with this. We did these already. Am I mixed up today? Might be. At the time, I felt probably some shame, embarrassment, disappointment in myself that I had resorted to 1 mile a day. I mean, I was doing longer runs too. I wasn't just doing 1 mile a day, but that was what I had to do no matter what. So some days I'd maybe go for 3 kilometers, some days 5 kilometers. Keeping in mind, you guys, for me at that time, I had a lot of shame around that. But now, I think today is day 970 of those 1 mile runs a day. And I realize now, those are what kept me going. So that was a really good example of a habit that it kept me doing something in my life that, at one time I loved to do. It kept me moving, it kept me exercising, it kept me from abandoning exercise altogether. And the biggest thing it's taught me is that our successes or failures fall on those little seemingly irrelevant habits. Things that we think, what's this gonna do? So why bother? But the more of those habits that you have throughout the day, the more of those kind of like, oh, this is pointless. What if you have 10 of them? If you have like 10 pointless habits, but they contribute to where you want to go, not where you don't, they add up. Can't lift my knees today. And so what I would encourage you to do is take a look at your habits currently, bad and good, and how can you add more irrelevant ones into your day. So this workout is a full-on task, right? It's not a habit. But maybe it's a glass of water first thing in the morning. I like to do lemon. That's a habit. Before my coffee. I've fallen out of my habit of gratitude and meditation, but I'm determined to get that back because I know that's what keeps my mind really strong. And I've set some goals, I think, for next year that are going to require me to take my mindset a few levels up. And so I need to get back to managing those two things, gratitude every morning and visualization of where I'm going and what it feels like to complete that goal is going to be really, those are habits, right? And I've dropped those habits. Those are two little habits that you think, have they affected my life not doing them? Not yet. It's only been maybe a month. But over time, I'll start to lose that power over my visual of where I'm going. Like I'll start to lose sight, of my vision of where I'm going. If you're not fixated on where you're going, it's really hard to get yourself to do things when you don't want to do them. And most of the time, you're not going to want to do them. So if you can have a really clear vision of, you know, in my mind right now, I'm an Olympic athlete. So when I work out, I'm like, well, yeah, that's what I do. You know, that's, how else am I going to look like that and be strong like that and move like that? And meanwhile, I don't. I still look the same as I did last week. But in my mind, I'm working from the future. And it completely changes the inspiration behind your actions. Anyways, I don't even know what I'm babbling on about right now. But I'm fired up, you guys. I'm excited about life. Hey, Karen. Well, I'm glad you're watching, and I really do hope you can be coming back soon. I know you have some challenges right now, but you know, the one thing that nothing physical can ever take away from us is we can always be working on our mind. We can always be working on our mind. And a stronger mindset will serve us in every area of our life, from our relationships to our finances, to our, you know, achievements, to our mood. Like, I have to say, I am the happiest I think I've ever been in my whole life right now, and it's because of so many things that have kind of compounded together to, and through COVID. Imagine, right? Like, through a global pandemic, when, you know, seemingly life is the most challenging it's ever been, I really honestly feel the happiest I've been in my whole life. So anyways, I want that for you too. I really want that for you too. Okay, so we are doing legs today. You're gonna need a couple of, hey Betty, you're here live, yay. Couple of sets of weights. We're working legs hard today. So if you're new, or if you're just starting, modify the weights, and rest anytime you need to, okay? This is what happens when Jocelyn gets a goal. Jocelyn gets a goal, we all got a goal. Okay, we're starting with suitcase squats. Okay, I'm gonna be fit, strong, and fierce, so you all are gonna be fit, strong, and fierce too. Unless you quit on me, but don't do that because I need you all. I need you all with me. So try to get that butt nice and low. Keep those shoulder blades pulled back. Okay, chest is open, head is up. Knees are tracking over your toes, over your feet, but you can still see your toes. You don't have to do suitcase squats, which is what I'm doing. You can hold one weight in the middle, which I call can hold the weight here, which I call a goblet squat, or you can do it with no weights to start, okay? So we're doing lateral squats next, and we're gonna go back and forth. Okay, so we're stepping over and over. So what I want you to remember is when you step into the squat, your butt tracks over your knee. Okay, sorry, your knee tracks over your foot is what I'm trying to say. Your butt is gonna sit back. You wanna feel like your butt is sitting behind your knee. Again, these are great to do with no weights, especially if you're new, but also if you've been doing this a while. These are harder, especially to do with good form. If you have bad knees, you may just want to do side squats instead of these. I call them lateral squats, or lateral lunges, really. Okay, so we're doing squats with a deadlift next. I told you we're going hard on legs today. Okay, so we're going to do deadlift. So we're just going to do deadlifts. I don't know what I was talking about. Okay, so make sure that lower back maintains a slight curve. Keep your legs as straight as you can. Make sure that chest is out. Like, I always say boobs out in deadlifts. If you think boobs out, the other thing you want to notice is the weights are dragging up and down my legs. So they're not way out in front of me. They're in between my legs. I can feel them on my legs almost the whole time. Super important. And we're doing glute bridge next. And I forgot my mat. I was thinking I didn't need my mat today, but I do. But that's okay. I can suck it up. Okay, with or without the weight. Okay, glute bridge. So heels are as close to your butt as you can get. And you're lifting, pulling that belly button in, pressing up with flat feet, and squeezing those glutes. Working your glutes. This is especially important for my running friends because glutes are where all the power comes from, and often running injuries originate from glutes not doing their job, right? And glutes, inactive glutes are really common in our world today because of the amount of sitting we do, which turns them off, shortens the hip flexors, and so running injuries often stem from glutes not doing their job. So it's really important to not just strengthen your glutes, but activate your glutes, target your glutes. So that's what we're doing today with our glute bridges. All right, who have I got on with me today? I know Kathy's there. I think Betty's there. Corinne. Karen was there, but she's not working out, so she may have left us. Who's working out with me today? So we're gonna do 3 rounds of what we just did. My heart rate is up still, even though we're just doing strength work. Okay, 10 seconds. We're gonna get ready to go into round 2. Those of you who have your form nailed, you've been doing this with me for a while, challenge yourself with some heavier weight today. Okay, at least to start, you can always drop down. If you're just starting, I cannot stress this enough, don't use weights for your very first workout. If it's too easy for you, it's okay. You can come back tomorrow and I'll make sure it's not too easy for you, okay? But don't feel like you have to be Superman on your very first day. The biggest goal in the beginning is to engage your mind, truly, truly. So we started in January, no, I don't know, Betty, it was 5 months ago. Probably close to this, we're probably going into our 6th month. It's taken me till now to actually want to do this. I actually look forward to my workout and I look forward to my runs. But for 7 years, I had no mojo. I was thinking about it last night because my mojo has just returned to me. Just last week. It's the most positive that I felt about training in 7 years. So I share that with you because, first of all, the lesson is don't wait for mojo, because I would have waited 7 years. Imagine if I quit 7 years ago and I just, abandoned ship. It wasn't like an immediate loss of mojo, so I'm being a bit dramatic, but imagine I just quit. Where would I be right now, 7 years later, if I was waiting to feel motivated? Probably in way worse shape than I am right now, and which would make it way more difficult to get started again, right? Like, this is the other power of habits, is that eventually when your mojo comes back, you're not starting from zero, right? You're not starting from ground. I'm starting way behind where I was at my best, but I'm not starting from zero. So, I had enormous gratitude for that this week as I decided to finally, I think, sign up for an event next year and train for it. I have a lot of work to do. I have a long way to go, but I was so grateful that I made myself just stick to something. And that's what I want to encourage you to do, is just, it's okay to not be fired up all of the time towards your goals, towards, you know, what you're doing. We got to do stuff we don't want to do. And we have to do it with the right energy, meaning I know I don't want to do it, but this is good for me, so I'm going to do it anyway, and I'm going to make the best of it, and I'm going to put a smile on my face. I mean, how many of us work jobs that we don't want to do, but we go do it? And those of us who do well in life, we put a smile on our face and do it, right? We don't just do it with resentment and crankiness. Right? How often do we do things for our kids that we don't want to do? And we just do them. We just accept it. So we need to do more things for ourselves that we don't want to do. Until we want to do them. And you know, I'm very well aware that this mojo might not last long. It might be gone again. But now I know, you know, I can do things even when I don't want to do them. So it is, speaking of which, it is day 3 today, I think. Day 3 of our 90-day habits challenge. Hey, Cindy Cross. Are you joining me for that? Are you doing that with me? You can choose literally any habit that you want to commit to for 90 days or commit to not doing, right? Maybe it's something, I eliminated 2 things. I eliminated wine and chips. A lot of people messaged me and said, what are you thinking? It's the thing that I need to do and I want to do. Maybe it's drinking more water. Maybe it's stretching. Maybe you want to stretch every day, like for 5 minutes. Maybe it's walking for, like, what I would encourage you to do is make sure you keep it teeny tiny small and achievable. And it should feel easy, like stupid easy to do and almost irrelevant, so that you build your confidence through showing up and doing it anyway. So I shared with my coaching group last night, said, you know, this Grand Slam that we're doing, we started in January. So the Grand Slam is a habit challenge. Each month we stack a new one onto it. So we're on month 8 now. I was strategic, and August was 10 minutes of walking or running. Well, I already do that, so I don't have to add anything this month. I just have to repeat my July. So for the rest of 2021, I think there's only maybe 3 of us still doing it. I'm not sure. I know Jennifer Sharp's doing it. Whew. 3 seconds. We have to stack. Anyways, inevitably, I do them in the workouts. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they get done in the morning. The rest of the week, I'm usually sitting on my couch, comfy, relaxed, winding down, often enjoying a glass of wine. Not anymore though. Now it's tea. And I'm like, I don't want to get off my couch and do jumping jacks, squats, plank, push-ups, what else? Burpees, and core. Probably forgot something. Boat. And it's so easy for me to say nah and then be ending it, right? And just say nah, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Really, what's the point? What's it really doing? I will tell you, having been doing it, I have missed a few days. I will be honest. Whew, I haven't completed it 100%. However, I would say probably 95%, maybe more. I've only missed a couple days. I would share with you that I think that that little routine is probably as impactful as my 3 times a week long runs, longer runs. Long is relative, of course. Excuse me. And so what gets me off the couch each day? Discipline, you know, commitment. I made a commitment. The knowledge now that what I do each day, the little things that I do each day, are what matter most. So yes, showing up to this workout 3 times a week is a phenomenal thing that you're doing for yourself. But what do you do the rest of the day, right? So how can you, again, I said this already, but how can you create a list of habits that contribute to where you want to go? And that list of habits is probably in the long run going to be more impactful than, you know, the bigger tasks that you schedule in. Because you're going to do them daily. You are a product of what you do every single day. And so I talked about this a couple weeks ago. When you look, like the Olympics is a great example, right? They're all extremely fit. You know, they're at their peak, questionably most of them are at their peak fitness of their life. Yet they all look very, very different. You know, yes, genetics plays a part, obviously, in one's body type, one's body shape, but daily habits is what creates your results, right? So these are people who have been working on their discipline probably since they were teens or tweens. So they're every single day, those habits create their body type, right? So if you look at swimmer versus, you know, a 5,000 meter runner versus a 200 meter runner versus, you know, a javelin thrower or a volleyball, beach volleyball, like they're all extremely fit, but their bodies have become a product of what they do every single day, right? And so we can do that too. Our habits. So if you work out every day, but you have pre-diabetes from your diet, your workout is not going to save you. Do all the work. Like your 1 hour, 2 hour, 45-minute workout is not going to be enough to create the natural results that you're wanting, if that makes sense. All right, this next one's going to be a doozy. We're doing squat presses. All right, grab your weight. We're squatting and we're pressing. So, you know, my calves, I have large calves. My mother-in-law has told me, my legs are too big. I need to stop running. She's a lovely woman. It's really a wonder why I don't visit her more often. Anyway, yeah, they are a result of years and years of running since I was in high school, not competitively, just jogging. Woo! Okay, next up, this could be a doozy too. We're doing lunges. If you're new, you're gonna do lunges. If you're with no weights. If you're seasoned, you're gonna try a lunge with a chop. And I really should have brought a lighter weight. Lunge, chop. Woo! Get your balance, chop. Okay, don't go too heavy on these until you've got good form and good control. You wanna make sure your upper body is perpendicular. Oh my God, how many sets do we have to do these? Whew. If I ever get too big of a head or too big on myself, all I gotta do is go visit my mother-in-law. Honestly. I'm a terrible, terrible daughter-in-law. Okay, bent rows. So lifting. Make sure you've got that arch in your lower back, your lower spine. It's not curved, and you're pulling in that belly button. breathing through it, taking a rest as you need, just like me, pulling with your back, bracing your back before you pull. Remember, chest is open. If your chest is open, if you're sticking your boobs out, you can't round your back. Whew. Okay, we're doing Russian twists with a press. I'm lifting heavier this week. Okay, so we're pressing up and down. Up, and again, you can do this without weights in the beginning if you're new. I think I've been watching too many Olympics. I think I've got a little too keen today. You get fitter by watching the Olympics, right? Make sure, same with this one, boobs are sticking out. Oh. One more. One more. Saved by the bell. Okay, resting. We're doing that. Guys, was that our first round? It was, wasn't it? I was thinking it was our second. Okay, we got two more rounds before we finish with oh hey Karen, no, we're live. We're live. So my boys went and picked up my mother-in-law yesterday to bring her to my son's baseball games. She lives right behind there, so she walked down, and my husband and I had gone for a walk. So we were walking down the path. She saw us and she yells, "You're fat! You're both fat!" And I'm like, yeah. So she told me that about 5 times. She smacked me with her cane, said, "You're fat." I said, "Oh, I can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see you again. Can't wait to visit with you again." I don't know why it's been so long. All right, here we go, ladies. Honestly, that's just the way she is. Honest, she tells my daughter she's fat too. So that's how I made myself feel better. I'm like, well, she tells Renelle that she's fat every time she sees her. Gotta love your mother-in-law. All right, let's just drop that. Woo! These are so hard for me. We did these last week and I thought, yeah, we gotta do those again. All right, lunges. Lunges with chops. So the goal with this one, and if you are just starting, I don't want you to necessarily do the chop. You can just do lunges. This is gonna really work your core and your balance. So I got a better handle on it the second time around. But you wanna make sure you're in a really good lunge before you do the chop. And again, you can do them with no weight because you don't want to hurt your knees twisting. You notice the twist is from my core, not my knees. Oh, thank God for the bell. All right, the second round somehow doesn't seem as bad as the first. And the third is probably going to be worse than the first. Okay, so remember, weights are kind of close. Sorry, I lied. This one you're going to want your weights out in front a bit more. But make sure That lower back is curved, belly button's pulled in. Chest is open, up. Now, if these are too advanced for you, woo, you can do them. You can do something different. You can do bicep curls. You can do tricep extensions. I don't want to intimidate or overwhelm those of you who are new doing this. I want you to remember, what I want you to focus on is showing up with me, joining me 3 times a week, modifying however it is that you need to. Okay, I was tempted to go down, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to do my best. Take breaks as I need. I will take a break in the middle of this one. Chest is up. You don't want to look like a letter C. You want to look like a letter V. If you're not in my 90-day challenge, I invite you to join. I think most of you are. We do have an email support. Okay, one more each side. Let's go. We do have an email support list sending you coaching every day. Like a favorite quote of mine or words that will encourage you. My plan is to do a lot of videos in the Facebook group through this, because I want you to know this is going to be really hard for every single one of us. 90 days is a long time to commit to doing or omitting something. The key is to break it down, right? The key is to break it down and into just focus on August right now, right? I'm not thinking about when I go to my conference and I can't have wine in October. I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm not thinking about when I'm going camping next week and I can't have wine. I'm thinking about today, right? So break it down to the month, and then break it down to the week, and then break it down to the day. And I will tell you, when I did this for 30 days, 2 weeks, and I've had other people do these challenges with me, 2 weeks is the tip over point, where if you're eliminating something, where it gets easier. If you're adding something in, if you're doing something, it's a slightly different mindset. The biggest thing is you want to be focused mentally with intention to do it. Like I did notice a couple people missed day 1, and so that just shows lack of focus on what you're doing, right? Like you need, what you think about, you create. What you focus on is what you create. If you decide to put a habit into your life and you forget about it, that's the problem, right? It's about changing your focus every day. Okay, when am I going to get that thing in? Write it down somewhere so you can see it. The biggest challenge, God, the biggest challenge I find is when your routine changes, right? Like if you're out of town, if you have something, if you go on vacation, if you have a change in routine, that's when it becomes harder to fit that thing in, because our habits are very much triggered by our environment. So if you're home, you say, okay, I'm going to do this, stack it after something you already do. So on my workout days, I stack the Grand Slam at the end of it. On my non-workout days, it's easy to forget. I try to do it after my run. Oh, thank God. Because that's something I do every day. Oh my God. Figure out something that you do every day, no matter what. Like I have coffee every morning. If you're a coffee drinker, it's a perfect time to stack a habit. Because coffee drinkers don't forget to drink their coffee. Maybe, you know, are you breakfast eater? Do you eat breakfast? My son, that's one of his habits he's doing, to eat breakfast. He gets up in the morning, he gets busy doing all his projects that he's working on. Lego, O to B12. He forgets to eat until he gets hungry, and he doesn't tend to get hungry till later in the day. O to B12. Okay. Whew. You guys, we're almost there. So stack it onto something that you do every day, because then your mind doesn't have to focus on it. But it does need to be, and this is where I think visualization is really important, because it's like, if every day you spend just a few minutes thinking about, where am I going? What is my goal? You know, you give some attention to what's something I can do today to move me closer. It doesn't have to be big. Speaking of big, oh, I should have dropped to the lower weight. Use your core on these ones. I'm thinking about my goal right now as I do these, and how much I need them. Almost there, 5 seconds. Oh, man. Okay, let's take a short break. We've done our squats. We need burpee plank. How many reps do you think we got for our core? So we did, I'm gonna say we did our core and our glutes, so we have 5 other things. You have to do your 10-minute run or walk on your own. Okay, grab a breath, grab a drink. Let's finish this off. I like to start with squats when we do this, but let's start with, let's get the, no, we're gonna finish with burpees. We're gonna finish with burpees. Okay, let's do our push-ups. I'm gonna stop this. I'm just changing my clock. Okay, guys, ready? 10 push-ups. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A little tip for push-ups. When you're pushing up, pretend you're trying to pretend you're gonna lift off the ground. Like, push with so much force that you're gonna leave the ground. You probably won't leave the ground unless you're really, really strong. But if you push up that way, you're gonna find your push-ups feel easier. Okay, let's do plank. Ready? Planking. High or low, doesn't matter. Make sure your chest is up and open. Your belly button's pulled in. Your glutes are squeezed. Quads are squeezed. Squeeze it all. Shoulder blades are pulled back. Breathing through. Wrists, elbows, shoulders are lined up. As soon as the bell goes, we're flipping right into boat. Okay, right into boat. You can lift your legs up to make this easier. You can bring your legs in to make it easier. Make sure there's no space under your lower back. You can lower your legs to make it harder. You can lift your arms up above your head to make it even harder. Squeeze those legs. Oh. Breathing through it. I don't know why, but these get harder every day, I swear to goodness. Okay, bow plank push-ups. Okay, we just gotta do our burpees now and we're done. All right, let's finish this sucker off. Let's go. 10 burpees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, woo, almost there, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Woo! Oh, happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining me. See you again tomorrow. Have an awesome day. Congrats, high fives. Go enjoy some Olympics.